time and teach and train and prepare their children to go into adulthood. And the last thing is business and career. You have to be able to provide for your family. So we want men to learn how to build businesses, have careers, not just regular jobs. We're not saying that a job is a bad thing, but what we're saying is in order to really be able to control your life, your finances need to be controlled by you. So we're going to talk on that level.
Well, I hope I get an invite on that panel because I'm gonna be putting it down for real. Do you yourself have a young person, nephew, son? Do you have a young man in your life that you went through this process with prior to you starting the show?
Yeah, I actually have been in schools. I've been doing this for years. I've been in football programs. I've been in schools, universities. I got family members, and right now I have a grandson. So for me, I know that when I was coming up, I wasn't taught. I didn't understand what a man was. So I went out there and made so many mistakes. And when I look back, I realized that I had good traits, but they were damaged because I didn't have a male kind of enforcing me to stay on the right track. And so when I say I went to the NFL, I realized that a lot of distractions that if I had been taught and guided, that I probably would have been more like a Hall of Fame running back.
Wow.
But I didn't have that training. It really stalled and kind of held me back. And so I want to take the next generation. That's why I have a grandson, and I'm always talking to him and preparing him from a very young age, not wait till he gets to a teenage and have to unlearn all these mistakes and these bad habits, but to create habits in him from the very beginning. And so
what do you have to say to young men who want to make their own mistakes? Hey, dude, leave me alone. Let me find my own way. What do you have to say to them?
Well, see, if you're trying to get them at that point, it's already late because they've already learned bad habits. So the only thing you can do is you can try to spend time with them and motivate them to see life in a different way. And also, what's my testimony? What's my story? They have to be able to relate and connect to me to want to listen to me. If they don't relate to me, and I think that I remember I was in some schools, and the reason why these young men listen to me because I've been there. And I was going into deep stories, telling them who I am, and they could relate. Like, oh yeah, I went through that. Yeah, I feel that. So now they're willing to listen, knowing that I came out of that bad habits and neighborhood and became an NFL player. So with that status, they're willing to say, okay, this guy grew up in the hood. He made mistakes. He's seen violence. He's done bad things too, but he came out of it. And so I believe that if you got kids who don't want to listen, you can't force them. Only thing you have to do is build relationship with them first if you give enough time with them. And then hopefully they'll connect with you enough to start respecting your opinion.
Yeah, I mean, I've been dealing with this with my own. I have 3 sons and 1 girl. And I feel like, with 2 adult children and 2 children that's not adults yet, I feel like, the best I can do is try to get them to buy into cultivating an obedient heart. I've been on a crusade the last 6 months trying to do the best I can. Like I saw you shout out single moms, trying to help everybody realize it's not going to work unless everybody's putting in their effort. Like for parents, mom or dad, single or together or not, the parenting is only 50% of the issue. The young person, in my opinion, and hopefully this be something you take to your platform, is 50% up to the children to be obedient, to be humble. You know what I'm saying? To want to make their lives something special. The problem with following, people don't realize, it looks cool on the surface, but the problem with following is that there's nothing special about it, nothing unique, nothing genuine or real. And when you go to get that genuine, unique, real feeling, it's not there. You don't know how to get that. So now you're just following somebody else. Your whole life has been following. You don't have any substance. A lot of people don't realize that this whole suicide thing may be connected to that. If you're following so much that you don't ever find yourself or your own purpose, then clearly returning prisoners. You following the leader, you're following orders, you're doing a lot of following, but you never get a chance to decide or discover your own purpose. And I might be going oversimplifying it, but the bottom line is young people, people in distress, if you have high anxiety, cultivate an obedient heart, because that's something that's going to carry on no matter where you are. When you show people that you're humble enough to be obedient to the person over you, in front of you, leading you, that I'm telling you, it's always noticeable. How do you feel about that commentary, Mr. Colors? And let's go ahead into the man panel thing.
Okay, well, you said a lot in that little short time. But I would tell you, number one, we are all.
Good morning. Good morning. Try to find this little intro video for you guys and gals. So, you know what it is right here. Taibu Mu'addib in the morning. Mornings with Mu'addib. We're getting it going the right way. You're welcome to subscribe and go over to YouTube at Taibu Mu'addib 4019 and check out this great podcast I do with Mr. Derek Colors, ex-NFL player, former NFL player, great man. Had his challenges when he was growing up, and he's admitting that, now he's Mr. Derek Colors now helps young men to grow and to learn from a good solid male role model figure. So Derek Colors, and he and I are going to do something once a week. He wants to do that. He said that many of his people like the way I podcast and the way I facilitate the podcast. So you can watch that full episode at Taibu Mu'addib 4019 over on YouTube. That's where all of the good podcasting content I have is going. I go live in the mornings on TikTok, Instagram at certain points, but for the most part, I wanted to get you guys and gals something in the mornings to inspire you and inform you what's going on. Today's topic, I want to get right into it. I'm trying to have a more cohesive flow to my show, so I want to go right into it. I don't know why the Arab be jumping on. Well, I know why. The name, I get it. Mu'addib is Arabic name, but they have to bring English and they have to bring the topic. So y'all want to jump in here and go live with me, make sure you can speak English and you are ready to discuss the topic, which today is women who bash men and are not ashamed of it. Women bashers. So you can say what you want to say about women that talk down on men in public, but go home and are submissive to their man in private. Right? Women are, a man should bow to me and a man should treat me as equal, do all this talking online, but then they go home and they're subservient and submissive to their man, as they should be. Just keep it real. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Where you going to get? How you going to have a relationship at home if you're treating your man like that, especially if he's, taking care of business. But the woman cheater is at the top of the list of all man bashers, right? So a cheating woman already has at least two men bashing each other, competing with each other for her, right? So that's a form of man bashing that is at the top, in my opinion. You guys and gals can join and like and share your likes and share your comments. But I think that females that bash men, I think that they just there's no higher height than a woman cheater, especially a woman that's cheating and she has two men vying for it and they kind of know about each other, right? That's the highest form, in my opinion. That's the highest form of man bashing. I don't know what you guys and gals think, but to me, that is the highest form of man bashing. And I want to make sure that I'm clear about this. So we're gonna jump off over here into our screen shares. I'm gonna go ahead and get this diced up. So you have two men fighting, but really it's one man supposed to be trying to help another man as far as like marriage counseling. So you go through marriage counseling, and what you have is individuals that are helping you make good decisions. So if you if say the man and woman go to different churches, you have two different pastors trying to help one marriage, right? So that's already a dicey deal. But then if you see her pastor already as an adversary, right? If you look at him like he doesn't have her best interest at heart spiritually, he's trying to get at her or whatever. If you see it like that, it is what it is. It's going to be what you see. In this situation, personally, I feel like women that aren't making their man feel secure, and I hear women say a man's insecurity, it's like every man's going to be insecure if you have him feeling like you're sitting in between him and somebody else. I go through this regularly. It seems like sometimes, where, my significant other, will show certain kind of affections to other men and claim she's just being nice when, any woman can claim that, you know what I'm saying? But men, we have the right to feel like, hey, we feel different. You know what I'm saying? We feel like that's not the case. So I apologize if you guys couldn't hear any sound. My Bluetooth, I keep it on for my truck and my earpieces. But the bottom line is, when you have a woman in between two men, both men have the right to be insecure about what they have with her, not in and of themselves. I'm not an insecure man, but I might be insecure about what I have with my woman. So let's break that down. Okay. But we're going to go ahead and listen to some of this. I think when this guy gets upset, he's upset because, and I hear him saying, if you go do your research, but I hear him saying, I'll listen to this guy, but not this guy. And then you get to find out the reason he's not feeling due mainly is because his wife is. Let's go.
Concern is both of them as a couple. If me and Chris don't mean anything today, that's fine. He knows I love him. However, Chris does not like correction.
Yeah, that's bull.
When I corrected Chris,
that's bull. We should have had conversations about that off camera.
He has
not on camera. You're not gonna do that. You're not my spiritual covering.
I understand it, but on this,
so the guy's getting upset. He says, "You're not my spiritual covering." So what do you have to say about me not accepting correction? Right now, I tend to side with the guy that makes that statement because I myself have been in situations where people wanted to correct me or tell me to correct my behavior or at least look at what I'm doing and see if I can do something differently. And I poo-poo that away. I've shunned that advice. I've been like, you ain't talking about nothing, right? That was my response to it. So I've been there. So I can understand where dude's coming from. And if you look at the conversation I had with Mr. Colors, to preempt this podcast, when you're watching my YouTube channel, you'll realize that that's what men are going through. And I went on a rant last week about not liking being Black American or being African American, whatever you want to call us, because I believe that we're a bunch of children. I mean, you look at the culture in and of itself, and you look at a bunch of kids. Everybody has a different ideal. Everybody has different thoughts. So the collective can never have experienced unity, cohesiveness. We can't get anything done as a people because we're all a bunch of children. When are we going to stop being like that? I don't know. Some folks profess, because they pay bills, they're not a child. Yes, you can still be a child and pay bills. It's not a big deal. You can still, be a substance abuser and pay bills and go to work. Let's keep it real. So I'm not bashing anybody or down anybody, but what I'm saying is as a culture, when are we going to become mature enough to have conversations like this without it getting to where it goes next?
So what you won't do is disrespect.
You're not going to disrespect me. You're not going to disrespect me. They brought you out to come talk to me. I didn't come talk to you. I don't have nothing to say to you.
Well, let me talk.
Chris. I don't have nothing to say to him. Hold on, correction. What do you mean correction?
Chris, hold on for a second. Stop. Gather yourself and take a deep breath.
Conversation.
I need you to calm down for 1 second.
I'm gonna do that for you, Kevin.
I will say this.
You,
We've had a beautiful conversation. We've worked through all these things. You have handled yourself in a dignified and graceful manner today.
Because this
I want you to stop. I don't want you to stop.
Okay.
I want you to continue that.
For you, Kevin. This for you, Kevin.
Don't let the anger eat you up. He is here as help, not as an adversary.
And with all due respect, I'll take the help of Pastor Cal, but Pastor White, I ain't got nothing for him.
That's absolute.
Okay, so he says he'll take the help from Pastor Kyle, but Pastor White can't do nothing for him. Why not? It's the same Bible. They're both pastors, right? Why not? And so what you have is you have the woman, the sister in the middle, and so you get the sense for the fact that he's going to say in a minute, he has her ear, but he can't get to him because he has her ear. So women when y'all in the middle, it's a form of man bashing. You can't be in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Of two men, and both of them want respect. Both of them want to feel like, an alpha, or at least you're alpha. So it's a form of man bashing. Man bashing can be subtle. And when I see sisters, now I can't say I'm not on forums and chat rooms with European women. I'm just not. I have the couple of them on here. I try looking their things and see what they're doing. They're cooking or they're dancing or they're singing. I don't see Europeans I'm just not in these chat rooms with them. None of my European TikTok connections or followers or Facebook or none. I don't see them having these kind of conversations and issues that Black people have. Why? Because they've probably solved them already. Or they'll just save that for the town hall meeting. Whatever the majority says, okay, fine. I have to take my trash out on Tuesdays instead of Thursdays. I prefer Thursdays, but if it's Tuesdays, fine. We as African people aren't there. You look at the sister in the middle. You see she's silent. It's 3 Black men on the podcast, and the sister is silent, but it's about her too. So why is she not saying anything? That's my whole thing. It's a subtle form of man bashing when you have 2 bulls come together and they're competing for your ear or for your affection or for your approval. Even it can even be the approval, right? When you're young kids, what I'm saying, and both 2 little boys like the little girl, just the boy that she says, hey, I like what you do, that amount of approval right there can cause fights, can cause dissension. So it's a form of man bashing that we have to address because relationships are failing. Obviously the relationship is in some kind of bind because they're on the podcast about the relationship. Right. So, when you go to seek help, if you're not open to help from whoever is available, he's a guest of the host. So what you have a problem with him for? Because my girl listens to him, right? My girl listens to him. Okay, cool. So if women, men, I just want you to be hip to the fact that women can call men insecure. They can say that. But if they're saying that and they are the root of the issue, then you have a right to say, yeah. So own it. Yes, I'm insecure. Oh, he's insecure. I'm insecure about what I have with her, not about myself. They're 2 different things. I know I'm a man. I know I'm not a homosexual. They do what they do. I'm heterosexual male. So I'm secure about that. But am I secure about what I have with my girlfriend? No, because in her quest to be nice to everybody, she'll, she gets, brought into situations where she ends up flirting with men because they're flirting with her and she's not stopping it. She's not nipping in the bud. So now they're both flirting. I mean, you really can't have flirtation one way. Let's be honest about that. The only way you can have a flirtation one way, ladies, sisters, if you didn't know this, fellas, if you didn't know this, the only way a flirtation can be only one way is when it starts and the other person nips it in the bud. And we all know what that means. Talk to the hand because the ear's not listening. So sisters, if you're not doing that, you are not entertaining and engaging in that flirtation. That's the bottom line, right? We all know what it is. You know, she can ultimately say no to me, but if I'm leaning over her and I'm in her ear, my hands around her waist or whatever the case may be, and I'm chopping it up with her, she could have a man. She can say that when I get done, but while she's listening to me in her personal space, already physically attached to her, she's engaging and flirting with me. Right? Is what it is. It's two-way street, people. Flirtation. So in this situation right here, I'm gonna finish playing it, but I'm saying man bashing, women that do it and aren't ashamed of it. She doesn't look like it's bothering her at all that her man is getting into it with her spiritual leader.
Fine. The nature of what I'm called to do as a pastor, it is my job.
You wouldn't
Chris,
on
hold
here as a
on.
pastor.
Chris,
You was as a friend.
Chris,
You gonna let me talk?
Stop.
No, I'm saying what I said.
You gonna let me
You
talk?
want to talk? You want to come on camera and talk? Well, let's talk then.
Paige,
I'm
ask
saying
him to
what I
stop,
had to say
please.
because
Just
you
tell
ain't
him
reached
to
out.
stop.
He's not gonna let me
I
talk.
ain't give a hear what you got to say.
Chris, just stop for a second. Stop for a second, okay? Go ahead, Pastor Dwight.
Chris, I understand he wants me to have gone through him and that things, but I didn't have time to go through him.
And that's why
I want to go to the.
hear what he
I
got to
want.
say.
I want. Listen, now you gonna start
Chris.
cussing at me.
Hey, we get it cracking, bro. I swear to God, bro. I swear to God, I don't give a bro. I'm not.
So things get really crazy when he says, I get it. Chris wanted me to go through him. Hello, man bashing. If your lady is if she's giving her ear to a man that wants to give her advice about your relationship with her, and he doesn't have to go through you, man bashing. That is a form. That's the highest form of man bashing that there can be, fellas. If another man has her ear and he doesn't have to go through you to get it. Now, I mean, if it was her dad or something like that, of course you're gonna reach out to Paul to get some advice. If it's a big brother, you know what I'm saying, or a brother, period, or like an older cousin or something like that, yeah, you know, these are guys that don't need to go through you to chop it up with your girl. And if she's sharing her relationship with her, right or wrong, no matter how you feel about that, it's a different topic for a different day. But right or wrong, there's still men in her life, men that she was born into that family. She chose you. You're supposed to be her choice. So those are two separate things. So that lady, that woman can reach out to her family members and get advice without her having to go through you specifically. Now her pastor, her co-worker, you know, and things of that nature, men outside of her family, whatever, whatnot. Yeah, I mean, ladies, if you're doing that like this lady did, then what do you expect? You don't expect for your husband or your man to get into it with the guy that's supposed to be counseling her on you? How is that going to work? That's man bashing. And this is why we as a people, man, we're not getting it right. Sister, if you choose a man, he's your leader, follow his lead. And then I don't understand how Christian women get it, quote unquote, Christian women get it wrong. How are you a Christian woman and you have a problem following a man, whether he is in the church actively or not? But if he's, I mean, you don't have to pick a man of God. You don't. The Bible's clear about that. But whoever you pick, you still should be following him because that's what God tells you ladies to do. So if this man says, Chris wanted me to go through him, but I didn't have time to go through him, that's not his fault. You make the time. If you want to talk to my wife about my relationship, you make the time. And that's where it ends. So if Shorty, obviously at this point, he's upset because he didn't go through him. He did talk to his wife about the relationship, and that's where it's at right now. So that in and of itself. So whether he can accept the guy, Chris, on the left, whether this guy on the left here can accept correction or not is a moot point if this guy right here is talking to his wife without his permission about the relationship.
Get it cracking, bro. I swear.
Chris,
I swear.
I can't believe it, Chris.
I'm not here.
Chris, why are you doing this right now? Chris, why are you right now? Chris, we're going to take a break. We're going to take a break. I want you to take, Chris, hold on, Chris. Chris.
So this is, so body language is everything. We know it. Body language is everything. So the husband walks off and tells the pastor, I came ready. Let's take it out to the parking lot. Now he walks off. His wife stays. I'm just saying. Now I've been there before. I've been there before. In the not too distant past, I've been there before. Where I'm from, you just don't get in the midst of a couple's spat. Likewise, you know what I'm saying, when you see a couple having a spat, as long as it's not extreme, you let them work it out. I mean, if they're just talking, you let them work it out. You don't get involved in it, right? Because they might just talk it out and work it out. You don't know. It's not your relationship. But sisters, and this chick is married. If your man's upset and he walks off the step, you might want to follow. Hello. And this is the problem. So, when I see a sister with a European and she's following him, in case you sisters that date Europeans and marry the European men and y'all claim European men are so much better than black men, African men, you're still choosing to follow. So if you're the type of sister that gave every black man that you dated or were married to a hard time, but then you get with a European and now you're comfortable following, we all see you. Taibu Mu'addib definitely sees you. So yeah, man, look, y'all gotta follow. You can do a bunch of things. You can do something wrong a bunch of different ways. It's only one way to get it done right. The S word, submission. You have to be submissive to follow in the sense it's meant, right? So when you're submissive and you're following the man that you choose to lead your life, how can somebody tell you that's wrong? Oh, if he says you can't, if he says, you can't talk to your pastor about your relationship without him being around and the pastor ain't got to go through him, girl, he's just insecure. Now you're following your friend's advice? That's not following Jesus. That's not Jesus' advice. Taibu Mu'addib, man, Mornings with Mu'addib. We're going to go to the next joint. Man, women that bash men.
Disrespectful.
Women that bash men and aren't ashamed to bash men. Women who bash men, all right? So this one right here came through. This TikTok right here came through, and I thought it was pretty interesting because I put that other one up first. So let's see if we believe she's one of these kind of women that it says right here that you should avoid. Come on over to Taibu Mu'addib.
You may want to save this video for later and pass this on to someone who needs it. Number 1, avoid a broke woman who depends on you for money.
Number 1, avoid a broke woman that depends on you for money. That might be shorty. We don't know. That might be shorty. We don't know her story. It didn't come out. I'm going to have to do more research to find out if she's a stay-at-home mom or whatever. But it says avoid a broke woman that depends on you for money.
She's a financial vampire and parasite. She will ruin you. Number 2, avoid an arrogant woman who doesn't take instructions, correction, and
avoid an arrogant woman that doesn't take instruction, correction, and
direction from you.
That's definitely shorty. I'm pretty sure Chris told her, don't talk to this guy right here without my permission, without me being present. I'm not feeling fam like that. And what she do, she went and did it anyway. So that's definitely shorty. Help me out here. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm flying, go ahead and tap that like button. You know what I mean? Let's do it.
Number 3, avoid an angry woman who is always quarreling and fighting with you, who disrespects you and gives you no peace. Number 4.
All right. So I don't know if they fight and quarrel, but they're in couples counseling. So there must be some kind of dissension going on, but she's definitely disrespectful because I'm pretty sure that he's making it clear on the little TikTok that, you know, we're listening to, that he's letting her know, like, that's not what you do. You know, you don't come through my woman to me. You come through me to my woman, fam. And I'm comfortable with that. How many guys out there are comfortable with that? And so clearly she didn't do it. That's why I've been on the show getting into it. All right. Number 4. And this right here is just saying the type of woman to avoid. Men, this is for you. Women, if this sounds like you, men are going to avoid you. You're not going to have good relationships that last. You're not going to have anything solid. And I'm so tired of women making it seem like all men cheat, all men are dogs, and that y'all saying this, but you're one of these women though. So if you're getting cheated on or a dog, it's probably because you're disrespectful, you're not listening, you're broke. The thing, what man's gonna respect you?
4. Avoid a woman who is surrounded by many men whom she calls her friends. Those men.
All right. Number 4 is deep. So we're gonna dissect number 4. Avoid a woman that is surrounded by many men whom she calls friends. Going through this myself right now. Let's go.
Avoid a woman who is surrounded by many men whom she calls her friends. Those men are your replacement, waiting for your relationship to have problems, and then they will move in and replace you.
Wow. It says she keeps men around, many men. They're your replacement. They're waiting for you to have problems in your relationship, and then they'll come in and they'll replace you. It looks like Shorty has found a replacement for Fam already. And if he walks off and she doesn't follow and she stays with your replacement, yeah. So that's a good indication. So fellas, don't wear your heart on your sleeve. Make sure that you're vetting these women, that you're picking them, you know, consciously. I think that these 5 things right here are valid. And ladies, y'all can come on to my show. Y'all can join the live if you want to and discuss it with me. I think these things are valid points. And this morning, I just want to, you know, encourage, you know, both sides. Don't get me wrong, both sides. Men, make sure you take your time and get to know the lady before you get serious about her, because if she demonstrates any of these 5 things, I think that she's below your standards for a lasting relationship. If you just want to hit it and quit it, which many women in these 5 categories is okay with, you know, for the most part, then do your thing, dog. But if you want to build something special with somebody and she demonstrates these 5 things, she doesn't qualify, you know, for that kind of journey. All right. Just shooting to you straight. So I'm not against the sisters tonight on this morning. I'm just trying to let women know, like, if this sounds like something that you've been doing, but you love your man, you want to stay with him, stop. Don't do it. All right. Find a way, you know, you get a coach to help you transition from where you are right now to where you want to be. And definitely make sure it comes with the permission of your man first. Let's go. Number 5.
Number 5. Avoid a woman who abandoned you for another man. That unfaithful, ungrateful, disloyal, and treacherous bastard is coming back to destroy you. Drop a yes if you agree with me.
So if she goes to another man, even for a night, and she comes back, it's to destroy you, right? It's to tear you down. It's to break you down. All right. Okay. Well, truth be told, go ahead and put your you know what I'm saying, request to join in. Let's hear from you. I think that they're perfect examples personally. And, you know, I'm not going to say that I know your situation, but I definitely believe that, you know, we're talking about a good situation can happen if people adhere to good advice. Now, good advice might not be anything that you want to hear, but if you're comfortable seeing things from a different perspective, you might get some inspiration, some uplift, and get out that little box that you're living in and experience the life that you probably been wanting to experience with the person that you're dealing with. All right. Ain't no way you watch this show. What more do I need to watch, Miss Blackman? What more do I need to watch? What more do I need to see? Come on. Y'all don't want to don't snipe at me from my comment section. Am I still at 0 likes? Man. Boy, ain't no way you watch this show. The crazy part about it is I'm just dissecting obviously all I need to see. If I'm getting it wrong, come on here and talk about it then. You know what I'm saying? Break the show down for us. I just think what I'm seeing is a woman bashing men and she's not ashamed of it. Let's reverse it. Say it's me and it's a female pastor and it's me and my wife and the host is a woman. So it's 3 women in the room and 1 guy, and it's me. And she gets upset because my female pastor didn't go through her to talk to me about our relationship. And so I'm upset. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I can't go down like that. Can't go down like you. Or no, she's upset. Like, they can't go down like that. And she gets up and she walks off the set. If I don't follow her, what more you need to say? If I don't follow my wife off the set to comfort, console, and make sure she's good, I'm still on the set with the host and my female pastor. And look, you look at these 2 guys, they seem to be the same skin tone. They look almost like they could be brothers to a certain extent. One big brother, one little brother, but you can see her type. They almost have the same suits on. That's her type. If my female pastor that I'm going to relationship advice about me and my wife, if they both look similar, that's my type. As soon as she meets her and sees that she looks somewhat like her, dresses somewhat like her, built somewhat like her, that she knows that's my type. So she has the right to be upset, offended, and feel insecure about the relationship. So do I need to see the whole show to dissect that and break that down? She's a man basher. She disrespected her husband by going and talking to dude. Fam is admitting that he didn't go through him to chop it up with her. So y'all just stay in the comment section. Don't give me no likes. I feel like what I'm giving out there is inspirational information. So let's go in here. Y'all don't want to y'all give me comments this morning. I respect that. So we're gonna go in here and we're gonna get right. Appreciate y'all for jumping in here with me. Taibu Mu'addib. I'm having a good time. I'm glad I got some engagement. I guess I'm not on here for the likes. I'm on here to inspire and encourage somebody to do the right thing. So let me go here real quick. Give my YouTube family the reality of it. Let's go. It's called a short. It must be a short. No? Is it videos? Let's manage them then. Bam. Just want to get this thing out here real quick. My cousin put this together for me and I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and show it real quick. Yeah. Get that going. My finger isn't as fast as it used to be. All right, let's go. So I'm going to go ahead and get ready to close out the show. Remember, as always, this message is brought to you courtesy of First Step Coaching. I'm going to make sure that all of you are brought in. Subscribe. Oops. Okay, I thought that was Blackman. Come on the show. Give your opinion. Are women man bashing in subtle ways, overt ways? I think that women that are in between 2 men are at the top of the food chain from women that bash men and are unashamed to do it. They're just doing it without question. Bottom line. Appreciate y'all for joining me. So as I close out what I got from this message today, and as a goal achievement coach, my goal is to make sure that we're out here working with that we have winning strategies. And I think a particular winning strategy for your relationship is to line it up, have an understanding, but line it up with either societal norms or biblical standards. But the bottom line is man, woman, children, head, body. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody has to be at the top, somebody has to be in the lead. And for you women that are doing really, really well for yourself financially, it doesn't mean that you don't have, you know, woman needs, you know, that you don't, that you're not still the woman in the relationship. So, you know, kudos to you for building a career, building yourself successfully, you know, to the highest heights, but you're still the woman in the relationship. And the better you become with accepting and embracing that role, I'm telling you right now, there's nothing wrong with building and uplifting your man, sisters. Nothing wrong with it. You can't go wrong. When you do that, you put yourself, that's a winning strategy. It puts you in a position to win. It really, really does. If you are giving energy to randoms outside the clubs, hookah lounges, if you're giving energy to randoms in traffic or at the grocery store, if you're giving that energy out, when you get around your man, it's gonna be something's gonna be foreign energy. It's gonna be difficult for you to follow and to, you know, be submissive to your man at home. That you're basically gonna bring back and put a toxic environment where there can't be any peace at home when you are giving that kind of energy to other men. Right? Save it for him. Save it for him. And let's be honest, ladies, you may have an ideal about what manhood is and what manhood should be, but stop trying to tell men you're not a man. If that's always a head scratcher for me, you know, because you don't know the story. Is a woman not a woman if she's barren? If her womb is barren, is she not a woman? Is she not a real woman? I mean, that can be debated, but is a woman not a real woman if her body can't produce a child for whatever reason? So when ladies say, "Oh, you're not a real man," if what? What do you know about it? What makes you the controlling authority on what a real man is or not? Ladies, I'm telling you, it's the worst thing that you can do is to question your man's manhood. If we spend more time building each other and being a blessing to each other, we'll learn more about each other. We'll encourage each other to be our best selves. And that is a winning strategy. Taibu Mu'addib. Here goes the commercial. Thank you, Cousin Barn. And that's the show. All right. Love that. That's a good look right there. Taibu Mu'addib right here. On the way out the door. Tomorrow, what's the show for tomorrow? Oh, have we woken up yet? And then we'll close the week out. It looks like with some support for Megan Thee Stallion. I think that when you reach a certain level of influence and you know, you end up with a situation where you have people that's going to snipe at you, always ready to say something. Let's get behind applauding the success of our own. You know, I dig the Versus series because that's an agreed upon. Let me match my music with your music. That's a positive thing. That's almost like old school breakdancing. But all this beef and suing people for creating songs and making songs and things, I don't know. It's just the craziest thing. So we're gonna go ahead and hit fam with the let's see. Let's get him out of there. Yeah, we got folks on here doing too much. Okay. So with that being done, all right, get that out of there. All right, so We got the women that met bash men conversation out the way. Like I said, tomorrow morning, 8:00, we're going to look at, are we woke? So I have a picture of a young European man. He's a toddler, a little boy with a young sister's hands behind her back. A Florida teacher got the young boy arresting the young girl in class. You don't want to miss tomorrow morning's show. But are we woke? What are we doing about these things as a people? And that's why I say I don't like being Black American, because as a people, we'll see these shocking things that Europeans doing shocking things, and we won't shut it down. These Europeans will shut us down if we do stuff that they don't like. It's historical. But now there's so many of us. How come enough of us can't come together to shut it down when they do these things? I'm telling you, it's tough being a Black American these days, y'all. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like when my people are ahead, when people are going, but I am willing to discuss it and to discuss these issues with you. Come on the show, inbox me, DM me, raise your hand. I'll reach out to you. Let's get it popping. Taibu Mu'addib, that's the show. 8:05 in the morning, Mornings with Mu'addib. You know it. Like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Taibu Mu'addib. Just like my name says, 4019 over on YouTube. That's my channel. You can just type my name in on YouTube and just subscribe to my channel. No problem. I got you. Appreciate it. Heading towards 1,000 viewers over there. If you like this channel, subscribe to it. Work out with me. Do my after behind the scenes cooking, working out, things of that nature. Become a live subscriber. Let's go.
So I was going through spice samples and I found this. Say less. Let's make
Interesting.
Make some chops, rearrange some stuff, pitch that up 5, add these little. Add a bass, maybe with the same sound.
Okay. There it is.
Now we move on to drum.
So, I believe I'm still alive, going crazy over here. Subscriber only preview. Give me some time. If you're ready for your one-on-one coaching experience, go to Cali.com/Coach Taibu. I'm doing this for the live subscriber only thing. Certified Goal Achievement Coach, PCS. 20 years of fitness, 3 years exclusively online, serving the community, helping folks reach their goals. It's Taibu Mu'addib. You know what it is. I appreciate you guys for joining my live preview. What I want to say about my podcasting and my live is that I'm going to get you there. We're going to get there together. Making my first million, putting my book out. I just did a live webinar event, being sponsored and featured by the Professional Podcast Network, the Coach Blueprint Show, just everywhere. 2024 is going to be that blow up year for me. Experience it by becoming a subscriber live. All right. I'm going to have the hot topics for you. Tomorrow, we're dealing with waking up as a people, showing toddlers, arresting toddlers, white toddlers, arresting black toddlers. It's crazy, right? It's going crazy on my show. So I appreciate you, but you don't want to miss the behind the scenes content. Let's have our own back and forth subscriber only videos and chat rooms and stuff, so we can really go in and we can go get it this year. All right. Whether you want to increase your income, budget and save and invest more, get in shape, whatever it is that you want to do, I want to be your coach. Inbox me, DM me, follow me on YouTube, subscribe to my YouTube channel where you can get all of the good podcasting information and content. It's Taibu Mu'addib right here, man, giving it to you on the fly. That's my show. I'm about to close out right now, but just a day full of reaching out to folks, man, helping clients, teaching, coaching. It's the life. All right. And I'm going to come to a city near you. I'm going to start doing my touring the end of this year into 2025. So I think like back to school time, I'm going to start hitting up some of the major cities, just doing small events, reaching out to different companies. I'm going to come do some community stuff. So I'm going to be in your area. That's the next move for me. So if you want Taibu Mu'addib to come do a show, do a podcast, talk to your people, talk to your business, motivate and inspire, just reach out to me. We'll make it happen. All right. Happy Tuesday morning, everybody. Get going, get to work, do your thing. If you want a better job or to be more like me, I'll be your coach. I'll coach you to it. I guarantee it. Effort, focus, and commitment, just like that. Let's